We're good?
Yep.
And we're back. And by the looks of Kyle, it's fall, bitch.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Gray jogger season.
Yeah, you love gray sweats.
I do. You know, what's funny is when did that become like a
thing?
Like a thing?
I think when the sweats got tighter. So the joggers, because before it was like the long baggy like Champion sweats. They don't do anything.
Yeah.
Can't really see anything.
But like, when did like seeing like a dick print or an outline become like attractive?
Well, it was never really an option for girls before because everything was so baggy. It's like the guys' pants got tighter and the girls' pants got bigger.
Kind of move that a little bit more to the right.
This?
Yeah, because you're facing that way.
Okay.
Like just move the entire thing. Sorry. There you go.
Yeah, but now that's like is it actually attractive for girls or is it just like a trend?
I think it's more of a trend to like it's fun to say it
right?
because like yeah. Most of the time though, it's like no one's like, oh, that's your dick. Like,
I think they just look. I think gray joggers just kind of look good. They fit right.
Yeah.
With the right outfit, it's
Yeah.
not necessarily just because you could see the dick.
I think the whole joke about it is just the dick.
Is it?
Yeah.
So they don't necessarily look good?
I mean, they look okay, but I think that the joke, they look good, but the joke of it is that you can like see.
And they love it.
I mean, more so than not seeing it, it's kind of like.
Really?
Yeah. Don't you like if like you could see like a girl wearing like a white shirt and she's like not like wearing a bra? It's the same thing.
Gray is the best colored like pants for both guys and girls.
Why?
So, all right, I remember being introduced to this theory in middle school.
So like 3 years
middle
ago.
school. So like my friend who was like the middle school thought, like he oh my god, he like his first like blowjob was in like the 3rd grade.
Shut
Jesus.
Yeah.
up. That sounds like like SA.
I know the girl who did it. I can like show you her Instagram after. But
Is she a thought now?
I think she wifeyed up.
Okay.
Which usually is what happens. Like I feel like the earlier you start your hoe phase, like you just like typically mature faster.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like, yeah, like with gray leggings, you just see the butt so much better. And I'm like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because you can just see the contours. Like black, you can't really see anything.
No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
And no one's wearing really like white.
I remember when I was a kid, like there wasn't like yoga pants, but girls would wear just those tight black pants and they kind of like belled out at the bottom.
They were the original yoga pants.
That was like the original yoga pants. But
yeah.
I remember like, oh, I love when girls wear tight black pants.
Yeah.
But
they were like
they weren't even that tight, really.
No, they were
like,
from pinking. They rolled over on the top.
No,
they were
before
low rise.
that even. Before that. They were just black pants and they kind of like fanned out.
Yeah,
at the bottom.
flared.
Yeah.
It's funny because now they're like, they kind of came back like the yoga pants that flared out. And they're like, girls are like, we're wearing flare leggings or flare yoga pants. We're like, no, those are yoga pants. Like, they're flared.
And then before yoga pants, still, it was after the black pants, but that's when like the velour jumpsuits, like the juicy couture, like girls with the juicy.
It said juicy on the butt, and that was like insane.
Was like the sluttiest thing you could
Yeah.
wear. Like if you see a girl like wearing that, you'd be like, oh my god, this girl is juicy.
It says juicy on her
Yeah.
butt. It's so funny. Like,
but now why isn't that a thing anymore? I feel like that is would be better now because now like butts are more
a big thing.
Popular than like. That was like during the
skinny era.
It's
or tits era.
Yeah. But like girls with like that were like anorexic would wear them and it was like say juicy on the butt, which is nowadays butts are like such like a part of culture that if a skinny girl, like a girl with no ass would not be caught dead wearing something that draws more attention to her butt.
Right.
Like she wouldn't put juicy on her butt.
But I'm surprised those don't come back.
They have them. I mean, sets like in general come back, just not.
No, I'm
like
saying specifically juicy.
Yeah, they kind of try to come back and stuff, but
yeah.
I mean, like all the influencers wear them now because it's like very Y2K. Like very like throwback, like vintage, like all like the.
What did they wear?
They were juicy.
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, I didn't know this.
Like all like the micro niche influencers.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Oh, that's
people
great.
like the Bella Hadid.
Yeah.
Style. Yeah.
Wow.
Kyle
I don't
know
know
about
anything.
this.
I was thinking it should come back, but that's
You're
good.
a very fashionable man for somebody that doesn't keep up with the trends.
Yeah, I don't keep up with anything.
Very timeless.
Yeah. Well, you have timeless. You keep up with timeless trends. And a lot of like he's wearing Lululemon joggers right now.
That's the sluttiest thing I've ever heard.
I know. I got him for
You know who else really likes those? Jason.
Yeah.
Jason only wears like Lulu like pants.
Yeah, they're really good quality.
Good. Yeah.
I got him a pair and he was like, "Wow, these are really nice." And I was like, "Yeah, like their quality of stuff is like really good."
I'm just sad that they're very racist.
Are they?
You don't know why it's called Lululemon?
Oh,
no.
God.
I have no idea.
Let us know, Woke Zain.
Because he's like, oh, how would a Japanese person pronounce this? I swear to God, he like based.
Wait, pronounce what?
Pronounce lemon. All right, let me search for the story real quick.
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Oh, you sound so woke right now.
I don't get it.
He named the company. All right.
They're definitely not the only like model. There's like no white skinny models on their website anymore.
Lululemon founder named the company because it was funny to watch Japanese people try to say it.
That could be speculation.
Does that mean that he's racist?
I don't think it means that he's racist. I just feel like, I don't know, he's just having fun. But you know how it is with people nowadays. Like,
well, you said you don't like Lululemon because it's racist.
Well, I'm being woke right now. I don't know who's listening.
You've been hanging around.
You're not being woke right now, Zain. You are woke.
I am not woke.
Yes, you
I
are.
am not
you have the
woke.
most inclusive jiu-jitsu program in the United States.
Stop. We can't talk about that.
You posted that.
No, you don't want to talk about it.
We can't talk about that. That's like a really big issue at my school right now.
Oh.
I can't imagine being in school right now.
I wish you would quit school.
Dude, me too.
Why don't you?
He's coding. Let him do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, coding's good. Couldn't you learn to code like just on the internet, like YouTube?
Yeah, but I also want to have fun.
Yeah.
You can still have fun.
I mean, college
is so fun.
Yeah.
Unless our kids, if we have kids, hopefully, get a scholarship for a sport, or they want to be like a doctor or a lawyer, that's the only way I would want them to go to school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you go to school, like just pay to get like a fucking liberal arts degree.
That's the worst.
It's so fucking stupid, man.
I think if I could structure the United States, I think like I would ban most of the degrees.
Yeah.
Like I think only STEM degrees, and then everybody else, like maybe we put.
I agree with that.
Yeah, because what's the point?
No point.
Yeah.
I saw something interesting the other day. It was like on Instagram, one of those business type things that I like. The person was saying that instead of saving money for your kid's college fund, like I think they call it a 529 plan.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it has to be used for college, whatever. Instead of doing that, buy your kid a house, like the day he's born. So, because like in 18 years from now, like kids won't be able to buy houses.
Right.
So, like,
but I guess the college funds people put like a small portion of their paycheck in per every paycheck to buy a house
and then rent it for those 18 years.
Yeah.
And then they could sell it and use some of the proceeds for college, or you could use.
But not everyone has like money for a down payment or can't get approved. You know what I mean? But everyone could save like $30 a paycheck.
Well,
I
don't know why you're arguing with me.
No, I'm just saying it sounds like if you can do that, I would definitely do that. But not everyone.
It makes so much more sense because
it definitely does.
You don't have to put on like a huge down payment, and you could rent the house all those years. Then your kid, if he doesn't want to go to college, you could live in the house, or sell it, and
then they have that money.
If 20 years, your house is gonna like
go up,
at least double.
Hopefully,
I mean, you would think.
Yeah.
But 30 years would probably double for sure.
Yeah.
But I think that's sound advice. So I hope Zain quits school
soon.
So what else?
Soon.
How's fight camp going?
Fight camp's good. About a month out. I'm a little less than a month out.
Yeah.
Usually right around 4 weeks is when I like kind of have like a dip in training. I feel like a week ago, I was like every session, I was like on fire. I was like, I feel so fucking good. I'm like just on point. I just felt so good in every round, every session. And then last week I had my first sparring session where I cried, which usually I'm good for like 1 to 2 Used to be a little bit more, but usually like 1 to 2
meltdowns.
Yeah, meltdowns per camp, and it's usually right around this time, 4 weeks. Yeah. So like I like was crying in between rounds, not like Kim Kardashian crying, but just like, and not because of anything, just me getting frustrated. But yeah, but I spar like 3 days a week for like 10 weeks. Like,
yeah,
it's so stupid. Like if it was someone else, I'd be like, and I know it as soon as it's over. I'm like, whatever. I just had a bad day. It's not that big of a deal. I've learned like over, this is like where I'm like, wow, I'm definitely experienced because I know that this is normal for me. And then like, I remember one time I had a camp where I was like, wait, I didn't cry at all this whole camp. I'm like, why not? Something's wrong. I don't know. It's just like, just because I'm so used to it. And I think it's almost like in my head, like at 4 weeks, like.
You know, it's a big thing. And I actually said this to Jason the other day because he kind of mentioned that about your training. You don't at all go by how you feel. You just go by, well, it's Tuesday afternoon, I do this. Yeah. It's Thursday morning, I do this. It's Sunday afternoon, I do this. Mm-hmm. It has nothing to do with how you feel or, you know, how you slept or anything. It's just the schedule is the schedule.
Yeah, there's no changing it.
When you do that, there has to be some like,
yes,
you can't always have your best day because you don't always feel the best, mm-hmm. you know? Like the other day, I was just coughing all day for some reason. I had like I was sick for a day.
A tickle in your throat.
Yeah, for a whole day. It sucked.
Yeah. No, I think there's like, some people would say that that's not good to just be so strict with the schedule, but I would argue that that's what like the difference between a disciplined athlete.
Oh no.
I mean, if I'm like super sick, then I'll take time off, and I've gotten better at that. I've gotten better at not overtraining, but like, or if I'm not feeling good, I'll be like, all right, I'm going to train, but I'm not going to go like, I'm not going to compete in every like every round. You know what I mean?
Right.
I might like go through the, like take the intensity off a little, not for sparring, but for like jujitsu or wrestling.
It's insane how much jujitsu and wrestling I feel like you've been doing. I feel like you've been doing so much jujitsu and wrestling. I
don't know. I feel like I always do.
Always is that same?
Yeah, because remember like before when we used to go to Henzo's, how much I would go to Henzo's?
Yeah. That's true.
You know? Yeah, I don't know.
I keep seeing people are posting that card, the October 22nd card, and like Sean Brady posted it today. But you're like the main card of that. But I mean, the main card is sick, but there's still like the undercard is.
Oh my God, it's insane.
Loaded.
Mm-hmm.
Loaded. I think that's the best card ever.
Yeah.
I really can't wait for that.
It's so crazy.
Crazy.
I'm just a little nervous for the airplane ride.
Yeah.
As it's getting closer, I'm like starting to think about it, and I'm like stressed about it. But I remember when I went before, I was super stressed about it because I had never done a flight that long. And I was really stressed about it. And Sarge had done it the week, like 2 weeks before me. And she's like, it's really not that bad. And I was like so stressed. And then when we got there, I was like, oh, I wish I wasn't that stressed about it. It really wasn't bad. But I was in like Emirates first class the first time. That is a big difference. I had a legit bed. They gave you pajamas.
Now this time you won't have that?
No. I'm just in a regular seat. So I was like, because it was during COVID, we had to fly to Vegas, and then the whole flight was only the UFC people. So, I mean, that's when I fought Andrade. So they were from another, like a Europe crew.
Okay.
So they weren't on our flight, but some people had their opponents where everyone was on the same flight. So they put the main card in first class, which like you had these little pods with the bed.
That must have been nice.
It was so cool. Like if you're there, it's unlimited, like food, drinks.
Yeah, they bring you like real dinners.
Yeah, real dinners, and then they ask you what you want. Like it's nice and good, like good food. They give you a toiletry bag, slippers. Glass of wine. Yeah. On the way there, I couldn't really have anything. But then they were like, "Oh, we have like," they had like healthy snacks, like protein bars and healthy snacks, because they knew that the fighters are gonna be on it.
Oh. Wow.
It was really cool. But then so my whole point is that I had that the last time I went, so now I'm just gonna be regular.
But this time, it's just a regular flight, right? There's regular people on it.
I looked to see how much the upgrade was, because I was like, I might do it. Okay, well, to upgrade to first class, it's $6,000.
$6,000.
That's why when I went the first time, they were like, "Oh, make sure you really like enjoy it because these tickets are like 10 grand."
Wow.
And then you have like one stewardess for like 3 people, so she's like your servant.
Wow.
And yeah, it was so wild. And then there's 3 categories. That's first class. Then business class is basically like when you go to California, what you see first class. It's still a pod. You can still put your legs up, lay down. So like most of the people got that. And then because it was empty, other people that were in the back, everyone had their own row, so everyone could lay down.
Okay.
So now so to upgrade to first class with the bed, it was like $6 grand. I was like, all right, well, let me see how much it is to upgrade to business class, because that's a lot better too. And that was like $2 grand on top of the tickets that were like $1,000. I was like,
yeah,
I'm just gonna hopefully sleep the whole time.
Yeah, hopefully you get up and move around a little bit.
Yeah, I will, because
yeah,
I ordered compression socks.
That's good.
Yeah, I remember on the way back, because the last time I fought, it was when Korean Zombie fought Brian Ortega.
Oh,
and Brian Ortega got pretty like his legs were like he couldn't walk. His legs was like blown up.
Really?
Yeah, he was he
fucked Korean Zombie up.
But he was beat up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he was like in the pod in front of me. They brought like Normatec for him, and he is like I guess he brought Normatec to it, and he was like using Normatec because he was nervous for the in on that. Like it was like we went from there.
Because you swell up even regular.
And we went from there to Vegas, which was even longer than from New York to. It was like 16 hours.
Wow.
Or I think it was like 16 or 17, 18. It was crazy. So that part I'm nervous about. It just sucks going there because you like are cutting weight. You can't eat and drink. Like when you're on a flight, you want to like have a few cocktails, have like some peanut M&Ms. You know what I mean? Just eat junk food, but long fight.
Zain, did we tell you that Felix is coming to that fight?
He's coming in. Actually?
Yeah, he really is.
Oh my God. He's like such a cool dude.
Yeah, really like he's coming. And then my other friend, Eilina, who I went on her bachelorette party, her and her fiance, they're coming.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You never have anyone go watch
Yeah. They were like, whatever, it's an excuse to go. So I'm excited. I'm worried about you. You're going to be flying by yourself a couple days after me.
Totally by myself.
Yeah, because you were supposed to be on the flight with Mark, but now you switching. You're coming a day earlier. You're going to be by yourself.
Yeah, I'm going to drive you to the airport. I'll keep you
No, I hate anyone. I would never ask a friend to drive me to the airport.
Well, I would keep you company.
I know, but I would never make a friend do that.
We're more than just friends, Kyle.
I would never make someone...
You're a role model to me.
Still, this is the 90s.
What do you
Take
mean?
an Uber.
That's true. This is true.
You mean this isn't the 90s?
No,
I don't get it.
No, I'm kidding. It's like modern times.
Oh.
Take an Uber.
Yeah.
Like
what
you
if
don't
I was
inconvenience a friend or a relative to drive you. If you live in like a small
it depends
little
where you
town,
live. Yeah.
Then it's okay to drive a friend to the airport. If you live in Buffalo, New York, for instance, okay, drive him to the airport.
You're very passionate about this topic.
But
yeah, it's probably one of the most passionate things you.
Yeah, I am.
Top on your priority
because list. It is not even remotely inconvenient for anyone to take an Uber.
Oh no, it's not.
It's like get him if you really care about Ubers, get him a Uber Lux. You know, get him a real fancy, nice Uber.
True. I think too, people that don't live here don't understand that concept as much.
Yeah, for me to drive someone to the airport, it's like a 3-hour commitment.
Yeah,
100%.
And it could be more. It could be more because anytime you drive, like on the southern state in the belt, you're risking being shut down and getting stuck on there for 6 hours. That's a risk every time you.
Nah, probably not 6 hours, but.
I mean, how many times a month do you think it gets shut down with like a fatal?
Yeah, it happens. Yeah,
it happens a couple times a month.
Yeah.
So yeah, every time you drive on the belt, you're risking it.
Yeah, you could. Yeah.
I can't believe I haven't gotten stuck like that going to training.
Well, LaFleur and Greg went and cornered someone in Atlantic City like 2 weeks ago. They said it took 8 hours to get the AC.
Stop.
8 hours.
Stop.
That's what they said.
Literally gives me like anxiety.
Crazy, right?
Oh my God.
So
yeah, my training camp, to wrap it up, it's better now. But I'm gonna take 2 full days off this week.
That'll be fun.
I kind of try to do that when I'm like starting to feel a little burnout, and then I'm like, I always take 1 day a week off. I'm gonna double it up, so I have 2 full days off.
Yeah, that'll be good.
And also, like, not to be like TMI, but it also like I did have my period, so then that's probably explains like why I was like extra sensitive. Yeah.
So Zain, I know you don't watch Netflix, but we started watching do you know who Jeffrey Dahmer is?
Yeah, the killer guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know much about him?
I mean, he was a serial killer.
Dude, he was like the most gruesome serial killer. No, he wasn't. No, he's not the goat. Not the
goat. Who's the goat then?
I mean, he's like a grimy, like low life serial killer. Like the goat is Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy is like a cool serial killer.
Ted Bundy's like hotter.
Attractive,
he's
charming.
Hotter.
Is that the one where they had Zac Efron playing?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like a cool serial killer.
Yeah.
But this Dahmer guy,
he was more deranged. Like he was more like, I would say like he's a goat because he's like scary or more fucked up.
Yeah.
Like Ted Bundy would just like kill hot bitches and then leave.
But I like Ted Bundy better than Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah. But I'm more I would like hang out with Ted Bundy. I'm not hanging out with Jeffrey Dahmer.
No way.
I wouldn't even want to be in the same room as him.
He was killing. He was a gay guy, and he would like go take like men out on dates and drug them and bring them back to his apartment and kill them and then eat them.
No, he would kill
and he
them.
Had all their whole bodies like in his freezer and like just in the house.
He would like gut them and then eat their hearts, and he would like gut them and then like hold their hearts and like jerk off to it.
Yeah.
He would like not necessarily like have sex with them, but he would just like jerk off to like their dead or his dead organs and like dismember. What is that the right word?
Dismember.
Yeah. Their bodies and like cut their head off and and then
like
he would
save everything.
He like would take their like liver and like just how we make a steak, like a hard sear, salt and pepper, olive oil in a pan.
You know, it's funny, speaking about drugs, I think one of my friends might got roofied last night.
Why?
She was just throwing up way more than usual.
She probably just took an Adderall and drank.
Yeah, that's probably true. But she was like throwing up like water.
Girls are always like in college, they like, throw up. They're like, I think I got drugged. I'm like, you just drank like 45 SoCo lime shots. That's probably what it is.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I don't know if you got like drugged and no one's around you, like.
No, so this guy like bought her like 3 drinks at the bar. So I don't know. I mean, I wasn't there for it, but all I remember is like coming back because like they were like, oh, like can we use your jacket? Because I was wearing like like a nice jacket. I always got.
She threw up on your jacket.
I don't know if she threw up on my jacket, but I don't have my jacket back yet, so there's always a chance.
That sucks.
But I remember I put my jacket around her because like she like like she's like wearing like something like very like straps.
A hoe never gets cold.
A hoe never gets cold, and like I remember putting it around her. And I think she might have been asleep, and like she like felt the jacket. She's like this. She's like leaning over, like her like head's like between her legs. And the second I like put the jacket on her, it was just like an immediate, just like, all over her white Air Forces.
Of course, she had white Air Forces.
All over her white Air Forces.
That sucks.
Oh my god. Yeah, this guy though is like so good, and I'm obsessed with like they go into it and talk about his childhood and everything. So it's like, it's not a documentary. It's like a reenactment, right?
Yeah.
Like a series show.
Like a biopic.
Yeah. And it goes into like his childhood, and his dad would taught him how to like dissect dead animals when he was
like
a kid.
A scientist. And he was like, oh, I'll teach him. He could learn.
They would drive around and find roadkill and then pick it up, bring it home, and then go in their garage and dissect it.
And then he became obsessed with that.
That's like not something, I don't know.
He's like, oh.
I mean, I think it's just as disgusting to do that to like a dead roadkill that it is to like a person.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Like picking up like a dead roadkill,
putting it in your car,
and like.
Yeah, what makes you think that's a good thing for a child?
He's like, he was like, oh, he's finally showing interest in something. He could be a scientist. But then like after he got convicted and goes to jail, then the dad admits, he's like, I should have helped him more. He's like, spoiler alert if you haven't watched it. But I feel like it's true story.
It's a true story that was happening in like the 90s.
Yeah, but the dad was like, I feel bad. I should have like helped him because I've had those thoughts. I never killed anyone, but I've had those thoughts of killing like people before. So it's definitely like genetic, and I understand. So
It's a wild show, man.
Wild.
You should watch it.
Do you
don't
think?
watch anything.
I mean, I'm gonna watch. I'll watch it like tomorrow.
You're never gonna watch it.
It might
I'll watch
give
it
you
tomorrow.
nightmares.
Well, I mean, I'll be on campus tomorrow, so I can go visit people and watch it.
Oh my god, it's
Yeah.
so
good, dude.
Yeah.
good.
What's it called?
Jeffrey Dahmer.
That's it?
Monster, the story. It's like Monster, the story.
If you look up
of
Jeffrey
Oh.
Dahmer,
Yeah.
it's like the #1 trending thing.
that actor is so good.
It's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's like it's not like a documentary.
No.
It's like a-
Yeah,
It's like a
acting's
show.
Amazing.
Oh, that's
so
good.
And
good.
so when he
Yeah.
got arrested, he was just like, all right, like he didn't hide anything. He was just like, kind of like, all right, I got caught. What do you want to know? I'll just tell you everything since this is what I should do. It's the least I can do is just be honest. He is like
Yeah.
so
Very serial
creepy. We
killer.
have 2 more episodes, and I'm like, feel like I'm gonna go to bed super late because I'm gonna watch them tonight.
Have you seen
Yeah.
Mindhunter? It seems like it's very similar to that.
What is it?
Mindhunter.
No.
It's like these like 2 like CIA officers like go around like it's not like a real thing. It's like a series. It like they go around like interviewing like different serial killers. And like it's like about like how like the one guy the younger dude of like the 2 partners is like losing his mind like interviewing these serial killers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's wild how there's a whole like just like there's the people who are into like feet.
Yeah.
There's a whole group of people that are into like serial killers. Like they get like letters in jail and stuff.
Oh,
like,
that are
that's
like
a common thing. Like
Actually?
yeah, it's
Yeah,
a common thing
like-
that some women are just attracted to like serial killers. Like they get a lot of them will get married while they're doing like back-to-back life sentences or on death row.
like they'll start being like pen pals,
yeah.
and then they like end up getting marrying
Do
them.
you think it's like the toxic dude syndrome but like really like to the farthest degree?
I don't know what it is, but that's a popular thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, like, I know that was a big thing with Ted Bundy, but he was like good looking and charming. So, like, but it's crazy because he was like killing girls, like going on dates with girls. But then, like, girls would like line up to go to the court
Right.
just to see him and write him letters. But same thing with Jeffrey Dahmer, like, girls would like write him letters and give him money and say that he's
Yeah.
like, and then when he was in jail, he's like, I have fans. It
Yeah.
like almost made him cocky.
Yeah.
He wasn't like that before. He was super cocky when he got fans.
Jeffrey Dahmer looks like a beaver.
Like a beaver.
Just the way his face is shaped, it just doesn't look right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fucked up. The guy looks exactly like him in the video too, or the movie.
that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Because as soon as the like Saturday we started watching it, and then of course like Sunday morning I go on TikTok and like it's all videos of Jeffrey Dahmer on my TikTok page, and like some of them were actual clips of interviews with him when he was in jail, and I was like, oh wait, is this a clip from one of the episodes I haven't seen yet? And I'm like, oh no, this is real footage. That's how close they look alike.
Yeah,
The actor
exactly,
and
yeah.
the real guy, they look so much alike that I thought it was like a clip from an episode I haven't seen yet. And I'm like, oh no, that's really like actual footage of him.
I love those reenactments.
Oh, so good.
Like
Yeah.
I used to love the O.J. Simpson one.
You were into that for like 3 years.
Yeah, I watch it all.
I
the
can't
time.
believe you haven't watched it in like the last year or
I
two.
don't know if it's still on.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah. So what else? What else do we have on?
Zayn, you went out this weekend?
Oh yeah. This weekend wasn't as good as the previous weekend. Actually, I'll tell the story about the previous weekend.
Okay.
'Cause then it leads into this weekend. So
You've just been like party Zayn.
yeah, I mean, 'cause
Party Zayn 22.
I think about it because I'm like, oh, it'll still be good for the podcast. That's how I rationalize most of my decisions. Like, I feel like because of that, like I've like lost a lot of social anxiety because I can like just separate myself from the incident. I'm like, oh, this is for work. Like I have to do this.
yeah. Like, oh, it's a funny story.
yeah.
It kind of is true with anything. Like, even if you don't have a podcast, if something like funny, like, I don't know, something bad happens, and you're like, whatever, it's a funny story.
Yeah, sometimes
Can't be too bad.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? But something embarrassing happens.
ADCC was the week before this week, right?
Yeah.
So that weekend, my friend Josh Richards came up. He's got like a huge YouTube channel for jiu-jitsu. He's like probably like one of the biggest jiu-jitsu YouTubers like out right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
He's like he competes like on like finishers and like Emerald City.
Is he good?
He's pretty good. I mean, he's still a blue belt. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
But, like,
Why does he
yeah.
have such a big following?
I mean, because he's just like one of the people that makes like actually like decent jujitsu content. Like it's funny.
Is it funny or?
Oh, it's super funny. Yeah, he actually made a video about Nick recently.
Oh, really?
Yeah, about like turning like my white belt friend into a beast.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
I want to watch this after.
So what's like? What kind of stuff does he do? Like funny skits?
He just like breaks down his competition footage, but he makes it funny.
Oh, that's
He's got like a
cool.
really dry sense of humor. Yeah,
Oh, nice.
yeah, he's very monotone. So he came up, and I was like, all right, like I have to make sure we're having fun.
How do you know this guy?
Through Nick, from jiu-jitsu.
Okay.
So like I'm just like, all right, what do you want to do? Like you want to do shrooms? You want to do acid? Like what are we doing? And he's like, I'm like, we're going extreme. Like what can we possibly do right now? He's like, I just kind of want to go out. I'm like, bet. And so the girl I like is like going out to the same bar that I like plan to go to. And like she's like, oh, I already pre-gamed. So I'm like, fuck, like I'm already a step behind. Like I don't want to be sober when this girl gets to the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's just weird, and I feel like I don't know. I feel like I'm less social when I'm sober, just because like it's like super loud, and I'm like, oh, I can't really like.
Yeah, you're like trying to have a conversation. Yeah, the volume bothers you if you're sober.
Yeah, because then it's like you're not like really feeling the music.
Yeah.
So I do like,
and it's like different. Like you're comfortable being sober if you see her at school, but once you're in a bar setting, everyone acts different.
Totally different.
Yeah,
people
like,
are dancing.
Like people will
and
like greet you with like a hug at bar, like someone that you don't really know that well. But if you saw them like at the store,
you wouldn't hug them. Yeah.
Right?
yeah. I go right to the bartender. I'm like, all right, how many drinks between me and Josh? I look at Josh, and Josh is like 145 pounds. I look at me, and like in my mind, I'm still 145 pounds. So I'm like, all right, 4 Long Island iced teas stat, and we're just gonna chug them back to back to back. And so he gives me 2, and then Josh gets 2, and we're just trying to chug them as fast as we possibly can because the night's still early. I think we get there at like 10:30 or something.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm chugging these, and meanwhile, like Rosati comes in, or my friend that looks like a bird.
Yeah.
And he's just like, oh, I'm a bird. And I'm like, I can't really talk to you right now. I gotta chug these down. And so for the next like few minutes after that, I'm just running around the bar like with like I don't remember how it happened. I don't remember when it kicked in, but I remember at a certain point during the night, I had a picture of Tobey Maguire on my phone, and I'm just running around asking girls, like, do you think my friend looks like Tobey Maguire? Do you think my friend looks like Tobey Maguire?
You're like, and the drinks hit.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And then she comes, and like, I have like a huge crush on this girl. Like, she's like, and like, I feel like when I crush on someone, I crush like super hard.
Have you kissed her yet?
Yeah. Yes.
Before this night?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys know you're both feeling each other.
Yeah, but there were like some things I didn't like really understand yet, and
Mhm.
so like we're still like figuring it out. But
Okay.
you know, that's like a topic for a different day. And so she comes, and like I feel like she's not like really feeling me, and that makes me sad.
So then you like don't know how to act.
I don't know how to
You're
act.
like, oh, should I ignore her then?
Yeah, so I walk away, and I go up to the bartender. I'm like, 2 more Long Island iced
Oh
teas.
my god, it's like a movie.
And I'm just like, how much am I spending? I don't know, but because every drink is like $13. I think at this point I've like racked up easily like I can't do math very well. $60 at least. in
Yeah,
drinks,
yeah.
which is insane.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm spending this much money ever out.
At
ever.
one plate. Yeah.
Yeah. So I drink the next 2, and the rest of the night becomes like a blur. Like I'm like dancing, but my eyes are closed. I'm like moving from corner to corner because people are like pushing me by.
So you got white girl wasted.
Yeah, white girl wasted. Like I'm like doing like the white girl move, like where my hands are up and I'm going side to side like a sunflower. And then I go upstairs to the bathroom, and I feel like I have to pull trig. And so I'm trying to pull trig in the bathroom.
What is pull trig?
Make himself throw up.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So like I'm online. I'm like I walk into the stall, and I walk in, and this guy's like, I don't know how to explain it properly. Like he's like, you know how like when you use a squatty potty, you put your feet up on something?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think he like there's like a wire rack that holds all the toilet paper, and he has it like on the floor underneath his feet, and his pants are
Damn.
off. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to be here right now. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what I walked in on.
He made his own squatty potty at the bar.
Dude, it's kind of ingenious, honestly.
I feel like at that point it's like just go
You gotta
home.
go home.
Yeah.
What's odd about that is the only time you would ever like shit in a bar is in an emergency. Like you cannot, like you can't leave the bar. But a squatty potty is designed to like assist when you're having difficulty pooping.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you use that when you have like a lot of time, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Apparently,
so if he didn't really have to go that bad if he was using a squatty potty,
I mean,
it wasn't an emergency.
I guess some people just don't have like etiquette.
But there's
bathroom
no
etiquette.
emergency. There's no reason to shit in a bar.
All I remember is that after that, I left the bathroom and I like stumbled downstairs, and so one of my friends, his girlfriend, well, ex-girlfriend. So he seems to be, I don't really know him that well, but he seems to be like a very like sensitive person. And so his ex-girlfriend is there at the bar and she's like kissing another girl. And then he's just like, I think he's like very distraught over it. You know,
Soy
like,
boy.
yeah. I mean, he's like very distraught. He's like, I want to leave. I want to go. And
Oh
I'm
my
like trying to
God.
convince him to stay. And then all I remember after that was like opening my eyes and I'm like on top of the toilet, just like, I'm like throwing up halal food
At your house?
in the dorm.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Zain.
Yeah. And then I passed
Skinny.
Be careful.
dehydrated.
Be careful.
What do you mean be careful?
Well,
I'm having so much fun.
Well, why did you like chug 4 Long Island iced teas? Maybe if you just drank the.
Well, because I was sad.
you know what's really funny about all this is like yesterday after training, Zain asked me if I wanted to go out. Like, imagine if I like went out with that crew.
You should. You should just for the podcast for the story.
Hey, listen, if we went out, I would do anything you told me to do.
Yeah, right. I would never do that.
One of my 30-year-old friends went out.
30-year-old friends.
One of my 30-year-old
Who
friends.
was that?
We can't talk about names right now.
Okay.
Does he
Yeah.
train with us?
I'll tell you later.
Okay.
So like he's out and I think his like girlfriend's out.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like what happened last night. Because last night, like I went out, like I ordered like a Long Island iced tea, and I could just tell my stomach wasn't really feeling it. Like I was like, there's something obviously wrong here. Like I like, you know, like when you like feel like you have the shits while you're drinking.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if that's
Not
normal.
really.
Probably not. Yeah. But
Yeah, but you have like stomach issues.
Yeah.
You're,
yeah, I've got like IBS. I'm like
Yeah.
a white girl.
Yeah.
So he comes out and like we're trying to get my friend Max laid this tonight. Like we're like that's like the mission. And so originally we had like a group of 20 people going out. We get to the bar, it's down to 4.
Yeah, that's usually how any night goes out.
Yeah. So we're like, all right, how can we get Max to talk to these girls? And you know, at a certain point, Max like starts drinking a lot and he starts feeling himself. And he starts going up to girls. And you know, like when a guy is like still new to talking to girls, like he like doesn't really read social cues.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm going up to my friends. I'm like, oh, does my friend look like Jack Harlow to you? And
Oh
like,
my God, that's actually kind of funny because he
Isn't-
kind of
yeah.
does look like Jack Harlow.
And like this one girl,
Oh
like
my God, that's so funny.
I don't even know who that
this
is.
one girl like isn't feeling it at all, and she's like trying to leave. And I'm like, all right, you can go. And then she's like, Max like grabs her by the shoulder, and she's like, what do you mean I don't look like Jack Harlow?
And she's like, oh my God,
Yeah.
stop grabbing me.
she just like keeps a poker face. I can like tell she's very scared. Just
Yeah.
like Max just like starts touching her out of nowhere.
Yeah.
That's a funny like role to like try to get someone like laid like
It is.
when you go out.
It is.
I remember like my first 2 years of college, I would like a lot of times the coach would ask me to like host a recruit, like an incoming recruit.
Mhm.
And at the time I was like, oh, I want to get all these good guys and make the team better. So I'd like put a lot of effort in and I
Yeah.
would like try to get them like laid. I would put like effort in. Me and Cliff used to mostly host.
Yeah.
And we did like such a good job. We were getting like really good guys. But then like I would get like I was like by the time after my first 2 years, like, no, stop giving them to me. I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a lot of work.
I'm gonna worry about myself.
Yeah.
Like we're
yeah.
not gonna be a good team.
You're
Like,
like,
these kids all sucked, but they'd come and be like, "This is the greatest place ever." Like,
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
get them like girls and stuff, like show them the time of their life.
and then you're like, all right, we need to get
And I'm
girls.
like,
Like,
fuck this, and then I just stopped doing it because it's like kind of like, you know,
How would you do it? What was your most successful way?
man. I mean, there's a lot of different ways, but mostly it would be like knowing like some type of like a specific type of girl.
Like, so you picked out
And
the
you
girl
knew that like
Yeah.
going in, like
you're like, this
there's
isn't, it's not that hard.
You knew
Yeah.
the typical suspects.
the girl's name was Sam.
That
Samantha.
that makes sense. Yeah.
And we used to call her Sam's Club. Like everyone was in Sam's Club.
You know, it's funny. There was a girl at my high school.
But Sam's Club got a lot of like recruits.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
There was a girl at my high school. Her name was also Samantha, and she was the first girl that ever like that publicly, to like our knowledge from our high school, that did anal. So we like we called her
She's probably not the first.
we
man.
called her Lana. 'Cause that's anal backwards.
Lana.
Lana,
Oh
yeah,
my
that's
god.
funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I was not expecting you to say that. I thought you were gonna be like the first one to have like sex.
Oh no, yeah, it was crazy. It was like apparently like very public knowledge. I didn't know about that, but
Oh my god, that
Yeah.
is so crazy.
I kind of like my role, like I like trying to get my friends laid because it's just like I don't know, it's like a little fun game.
Well, there is something too if they're like scared to talk to girls or like, and they do need a little bit of help, and then if it happens, you're like, good. Like they just need that like little push, and you're helping.
You know what the best thing the most helpful thing you could do in that situation
What is?
if you're getting a girl. Because if you get a girl, she's probably not there by herself. She has friends, and her friends maybe like we used to call that fallout pussy. like
There's a scientific term.
well, yeah, like so if I was with Katlyn,
Yeah.
and there's like a bunch of her like friends around,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then
you
I
get my fallout pussy, like because of me.
Yes.
you
Yes.
know, you're
and then
getting,
too,
like,
I
the
think
drippings.
like if we're out, I have a group of friends and like, and I like you and you're talking to me, and then like
you're gonna push.
if I
your
really
friends
like
that-
you, then I'm gonna be like, oh, tell my friends like, oh, look, his friends over here, because you want everyone else to be with
Right.
the crew, you know,
So
with
like,
your
if,
crew.
if one person is kind of like good with girls, then at least you'll probably meet like a group of girls, right?
Because everyone goes out in groups.
No
pretty
one's
much.
there by themselves.
Yeah. I mean, actually, I did see a couple guys there. I mean, guys.
Well, guys
there.
maybe, but girls definitely are probably not.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely not.
But and then like there's always like a friend that's terrible that tries to like cock block
And,
or
like,
then there's
ruin
a
it.
disgusting friend who like a grenade that you would say.
Yeah.
oh my
So
god.
say jump on the grenade.
Did
know.
did Rosati ever tell you about what happened to him?
Mm-mm.
He was like talking to this girl. So he was at Starbucks, I think, and this girl comes up to him and starts talking about like ask him about his ear because he has cauliflower ear. And she's like really into it. She's like, yeah, like my dad owns an MMA gym, and like I'm really into like what you guys do, and I really respect it. Like I don't think she knows he does jiu-jitsu. Like I think she thinks he's like an MMA fighter. So he's
Grow
like,
with it.
yeah, he's going along with it, and it's fine. And he has like this friend, like this, like that he goes out with that does like magic tricks.
That's probably good. That's good.
It was
That's a
good.
icebreaker.
Yeah.
It was good. And then like this guy comes up behind him and he like pulls like a quarter behind this girl's ear. And like you would think that they're in. Like,
Mhm.
like you would think that like he's like about to have the time of his
That's
life.
pretty good.
That
And-
is good.
Yeah.
And then her friend comes over and immediately does the same thing to her. And he just asks, so you guys want to make out? And they like go into the bathroom and they stay there the entire time. Not the magician, the friend, the two girls.
Wait, what? So the magician didn't get any?
No, he just cock blocked both of them.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh.
that sucks. I would think learning a little trick like that would be good.
Yeah. Anything like that's good.
Well, but you still need to know how to like talk, you know what I
Icebreaker.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah, you just need an icebreaker. But then after that, you need to learn. You can't be like, do that and then just be like,
What was your
know?
cold approach?
What's that?
What was your like best cold approach line?
Cold approach?
Like you see a girl, you want to
like
go
at
talk
a
to her.
bar.
Mhm.
Go up
You've
to
never
her.
seen her before. Like, what do you say?
I actually have a really good one.
What is it?
Of course you do.
So like sometimes you'll set it up where I wouldn't walk up to them like where they're standing and like
Yeah.
I would arrange to like walk by. Like a walk by, you know?
Yeah.
And then as they're walking by, I'd say, "Hey, how have you been?" And then they'd say, look at me like weird. Like, "Do I know you?" Like, "No, I don't think so. Why do you ask that?" She's like, "Oh, well, you said, how have you been?" Like, I know, but like, how have you been? Like, that's what I mean. And she's like, "Well, you said it like you knew me." Like, and then they'd like laugh. Like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I was just wondering, like, how have you been? I'm Kyle." And then,
Oh my
That
god.
is genius.
yeah, it works 100% of the time. It like always does. But like, they walk by, like, "Hey, how have you been?" Like, it's like familiar, like a smile.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Like, "Hey, how have you been?" Not like, "How you been?"
Yeah,
Either way, "How have you been?" is only a greeting that you use with someone who you're familiar with.
Right.
Yes.
Right? Because you have to know like their history, like how have they been,
Yeah.
right?
God, dude,
And then they will always be like, "Do I know you?"
you've
the
broken
kind of
this
like-
down so scientifically.
Yeah.
Long time. man.
A lot of experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's the line.
A lot of trial. and
Because it's
error.
not a line.
It's not.
You know, it's not like, hey, how much does a polar bear weigh?
Yeah.
Just enough to break the ice. You know, that's a line, right?
Yeah.
So this is just like.
You know what I think is clever?
It opens a door.
You know what I think's a clever one that Cliff always says?
About his hair?
No, about the nails.
Oh, what's he say?
So he'll go up to, he does this all the time. He like does it to me and I like blush. And he does it every time I see him, he says it to me and I like know it. And I still makes me blush. But he'll like grab a girl's hand and he'll be like, oh, is this gel? It looks really good. And they're like, every time,
like knowing gel,
like no guy knows like what gel is, and like, but most girls, like if they have their nails done, it probably is gel. So like, or even if it's not, it's just like the first reaction's like, what the fuck? How do you know that? And they're like, yeah, it is.
That's great.
Like all of a sudden they're like, it's
and his
funny.
Big giant hands.
Yeah, he does it to me all the time, and I blush. I swear to God.
That's amazing.
He does it
I feel like I've seen him do that.
He does all the time. He goes, oh, is this gel? Nice. Looks good. And I'm like, yeah, it is. Thanks. Like, because no guy like notices a girl's nail.
Notice.
Well, you do, but I'm like in your face with it, you know?
That is a really good line.
It's so good. That's a good one now. Like, because, you know,
I think anytime you like compliment something obscure
Yes.
about someone is really good. Like if you're like, oh, you got great tits, like obviously that sucks. But if you say something like,
or like you have a
obscure,
sick
be
body,
like, oh my God, you have perfect eyebrows.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, like
That's
something
obscure.
Yeah,
because if they actually do have nice eyebrows, then they really care about them.
Yeah,
like, you know.
Yeah, or even if it's like, oh, like I love that bag.
Yeah,
something specific, not just like.
I feel like complimenting like a fashion accessory is a little kind of like.
I don't think so.
I think it's subjective.
Yeah, I don't think it's that bad, especially if it's like cool. Like,
yeah,
I don't know if it is cool.
But like anything
like
obscure, like complimenting, like being like being observant is I think attractive.
Yeah,
because
that's all. Like think about like especially for girls when they go out, that's all they think about is like doing their hair, doing their makeup, all that. They do so much work, and like guys don't really notice. They're just like, you hot or not?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so for a guy to be like, say something.
Will you try the, hey, how have you been? Well, now you got a girlfriend.
Well, but I'll use it to set it up for my boy.
Well, you could just say it then you'll find that you'll end up in a conversation.
Yeah.
You could do that at like the grocery store.
Oh, right. I'll just go outside and do it to your neighbors right now. Knock on their door, be like, hey, how you been?
They'll call the cops. No, it was so funny before we started recording. Zain's, can I say this? Talk about
yeah, you can talk about it.
Yeah. No, Zain's like, wait, hold on, I gotta make a call. And then he's like, some girl he's been talking to texts him like, can I call you? And then he calls her real quick. He's like, hey, is everything okay? She's like, yeah, I just wanted to talk. And he's like, oh, I thought something was wrong because you said can I call you? So I thought something was wrong. She was like, no, I was just calling. He's like, oh, okay. Well, can I call you back in a little bit? I'm busy. I was dying laughing because she was like, she just wanted to talk. And you're like, what's wrong?
You know what's funny? I realize why she sent me that text now, and I'm very embarrassed.
Why?
I'm like extremely embarrassed.
Well, why'd she send it?
Well, because you sent it on Instagram, and I was like, one, it's weird to do that when you have my number. But I'm like, whatever. Like, I'm sure like there's something wrong. And then like I like posted something on my story.
Do you do like a sub?
No, I was like my friend made this little poster of us as like on like a show, and I put like call me for a free consultation. I think she was responding to that, okay. And like meanwhile in my mind I'm like, oh, she's in trouble, like she needs help, like.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
that was cute, funny. Though. You're like kind of like in. You know, like in like right now.
I am in like right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about fucking time.
Well,
not really. You haven't. I'm just happy that you're not depressed anymore.
Oh yeah. I mean, I like myself a lot more now. So yeah. This is like a lot easier to like.
I can just tell you're really feeling yourself now.
You're really coming into your own.
Yeah, I think so.
You're not getting in your own way.
I think it's because I like hang out with you guys more.
I think it's because your jiu-jitsu's getting better.
I don't think so. I mean, it's like okay, you know.
It's definitely good.
I mean, it's good, but
I think that gives you like probably like more confidence, right?
Well, I mean, I also think just getting jacked like gets you more confident. Like,
That's
I
right.
wouldn't say you're jacked.
well, I'm
Kyle.
more.
You're definitely
muscular
better
than
at
before.
jujitsu than you are jacked.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Yeah,
That's what I
100%.
mean.
That's like that's a viable ratio.
I mean, I don't even. It's not even close.
But I put on like at least like 10 more pounds. You know, that definitely helped out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think for your overall mental psyche, like if you get good at almost anything, it just makes you better at everything.
Yes, I agree. Yeah.
Right.
I think girls like a lot of the girls that I like tend to like nerds.
Mm-hmm.
And so being able to like nerd out about something, even
But I
if
feel
it's,
like you're like a swaggy nerd.
What does that
But-
even mean? I don't really understand what that means. I think
What?
nerd now means like cool, right?
I guess. I mean, like
I
can.
think it's like on borderline of like. I mean, it's not like a hipster, but like
I think nerd is like cool now.
It's
Yeah.
in. It's back
Right.
in.
no one's like a
Yeah.
jock anymore. I guess there
Yeah.
are like gym bros and stuff.
What am I? I probably am.
No.
You just have the body of a gym bro.
Yeah.
But
But I'm kind of like,
You're too sweet to be a gym bro. Maybe back in the day.
you're not like, oh, I gotta get this pumping, bro. But there's definitely a
No.
lot of people like that. I feel
Yeah.
like that kind of came back again. Like the gym
yeah.
people.
I
mean-
love, that's like my favorite era of time.
Mm-hmm.
Like the
You like
Jersey Shore
Guidos.
era.
Yeah.
Like that's my favorite era of time. Like you're jacked and like steroids and silicone.
Yeah.
Really?
Like that era of time is like my favorite. Like even when I see people like that now, I'm
You just
always
are
oh, look at that,
entertained
like
by
a
it.
throwback guy.
You're just like
sometimes you'll see
entertained.
people like at a beach bar or something, and they'll have
Mhm.
like a tribal tattoo, and they're crazy jacked, and they have like neon shorts,
Yeah.
with matching neon sneakers or something, and they're like, oh, that's like a throwback.
I see
guy.
people
but I can
like
picture
that.
like those people like in like a or like a Atlantic City button ups with
Mhm.
spiky hair, and like going to like Neptunes or
Yeah,
HQ
like
pool party.
Super tanned all year.
Yeah, I love that.
But I
era
feel
of
like
time.
that nowadays they don't really have
That's
that.
not a thing
That's not a
anymore.
thing anymore. I think that kind of got replaced with like the gym bros. They're like the new Guidos where they're
What's
like
the gym bro?
like people that are just super into lifting, but not necessarily like body. They probably like take steroids, but they're not like bodybuilders. But they're just like super into like lifting and like dry scooping pre-workout.
Yeah, but I feel like there's not like the same like cultural buzz
No.
around them.
No,
right?
I mean the only people that are like that like are like some like Long Island weirdos.
But like going out was definitely better back then.
Oh
right?
yeah.
I
It
don't
was
go
more-
out anymore. I don't know what it's like.
Definitely more of a scene.
More of a scene for
it's
sure.
not as
right?
fun anymore.
Like people used to like get dressed. No, even if you were like,
Yeah,
even if
yeah.
you were like a nerd, like people would get dressed up and go out.
Of
Like,
course, yeah.
now it's just like people just go to like bars and like,
Well, people go out and they just stand in the corner.
yeah.
But no one's like,
Yeah.
are they like guys like dressed up and
I mean, not really. I feel like it's a
No.
lot more casual
Yeah.
now. Yeah.
Which
there
I
used to be
guy's
like a lot of
kinda
places
cool.
that have like
Dress codes, yeah.
That was a big thing. for a
James
long
Joyce has a
time.
dress code.
Really? What do
Yeah.
you have to wear?
It's kind of racist.
Racist.
it's
Why
like
is it
no-
no
racist?
Jordans.
No do-rags, no Timberlands, no wife beaters,
I mean,
no like basketball sneakers.
yeah, like you have to
What
wear
do you mean basketball sneakers?
that
you
part.
think?
Shoes, I don't want to place.
Shoes is weird because like you could have like Gucci high tops that are like $1,000.
Yeah.
and you're not allowed to wear them.
But I feel like it's just like I don't know. I feel like it's just like for show. Like I don't.
I think they
actually
use
enforce
that's
it.
like an old thing, the no sneakers, because it would be weird. Like some places in the city
Wait, what
still
the
do
fuck
that.
do you want me
Like
to wear?
guys, no sneakers, but then like a girl could wear sneakers. You're
Yeah.
like, wait, what? Or like how guys can't wear like tank tops, but then girls could wear like a bra.
Right.
It's always like kind of weird.
Mhm. Kyle, what you doing this weekend?
I don't know.
You want to go out to
Watching
the
the
city,
fights.
bro?
To the city?
So listen, we went. Speaking of the city, we went last week. We went to the city. We went to the Stand in New York, a comedy
Mhm.
club, and it was
10th
like
anniversary party.
it was
Ooh.
their 10th.
Yeah.
10th anniversary party. So I got tickets. I didn't
Free
realize
tickets.
I got free
That's
tickets.
sick.
I didn't
so sick.
realize it was like such like an event. We walk in, it was like open bar. There
Mhm.
was like food everywhere. Everyone's like it was weird. It felt like everyone knew each other,
Yeah.
but we didn't, like people
Yeah.
that either work there or friends with the
Yes.
comedians. Like
Mhm.
there's like photo booths, there was like an ice luge
Yeah.
of like tequila. Like people were
Mhm.
like dancing. I was like, oh my God. It sucked because I couldn't like eat or drink, but there was so many people. Like they all did 10-minute bits. We saw
They
like
didn't know who the lineup was, but there was it was 3 hours, and there's a new comedian every 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
We saw Mark Norman, Shane Gillis, Giannis Papas, Ari Shafir.
I love Giannis Papas.
I know Joey Diaz was later at night, but I couldn't make it. I couldn't stay up that late for him because we got there early.
Dude,
it was insane.
There's like 18 different acts. I would say like 6 of them, like you did like a lot of crowd work.
Yeah.
Like 6 of them like locked into me like instantly. And I was like the
picked him apart.
Front of like every fucking
you like stand out in any crowd you're in.
They were roasting Kyle the entire time.
The whole time.
Did you wear your chain?
Yeah.
That's why. That's why.
And then halfway through, he's like, I want to put my chain in my shirt. I was like, no, do not put that chain in. Do not let them win. I was like, they will roast you for putting it in.
I was wearing like a tight shirt, like fitted,
not like tight,
not crazy tight, but like fitted.
Well, all your shirts are tight.
All your shirts look, and I will say this, like you look like they're fitted. They're not tight, but like, you're so jacked that it looks like we're like more obnoxious on you.
Yeah, and I had like a chain on, and they were like, "Oh, like who is this guy? This Aaron Hernandez looking." And then they were like, "You guys together?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Do you have kids?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "Oh, because all the steroids fucked up your sperm, huh?" Oh my God. It's fucking funny, man.
They were roasting him. And then they said like, "Oh, what did you?" I had a tank top on too. And they were like, "Oh, would you guys just get done doing shoulders together?" I was like, "Yes." For a girl, you know what I mean? I was like, "Yes." Yeah. That's only, I didn't really get anything. But
roasting.
He was like, "Oh, what do you?" God. He's like, he's like, "You're about to get in a fight. You take your chain off. You put it on your girl. Give her a kiss on the cheek. Like, hold this, baby. I'll be right back." And then you're like, "Don't worry. I still made dinner reservations for tonight."
Yeah, they were carving
dying. It was so.
But it was all just about being like jacked and.
At the end of the day, I was like, they were all roasting you, but it was like all complimentary, saying they're all like making fun of you for being like jacked.
Yeah.
So that's good.
That's insane.
Like there were some people, they were like the one guy in the front, they kept saying like, "You look like you stormed the Capitol," and he like kind of did look like he was one of those people.
That's such like a catch-all joke now. People love twisting that into almost any.
Yeah. But and then he had like, he was like a little bit older. He was sitting dead center, like a blazer coat on, and they were like, they were like making fun of his outfit
the whole time.
And I was like, sometimes when they like roast people like that, I get uncomfortable. I'm like, that sucks, because then he's like with a date, so she's like, you know what I mean?
Because he definitely was like, "Oh, I'm gonna dress up tonight.
We're going to the city. I'm gonna dress up."
Carving into him about this blazer.
Yeah. Like that is worse. Like yours are like roasting you for being jacked. That's pretty good.
I remember this
one. They made fun of my chain a lot too.
I mean, whatever.
This one,
but like everyone had a chain. A lot of people have chains.
Some of the comedians had chains on. Yeah.
This one time I went to a comedy show with like our friends with benefits, and then like it's just like awkward having to like make a story up on the spot.
Yeah, because they asked you like, "Oh, what are you guys here for? First date?
Where'd you guys meet? Like, like, are you guys together?"
Yeah.
I was like, not really, but she's like, yeah, we are.
Oh my God.
I'm just like, I don't know about that.
Yeah, they'll roast people quick.
Yeah, it's tough.
How do you like? I mean, do you like go on dates with like your friends with benefits? How does that work? I mean, I feel like before I did. Yeah.
I mean,
well, I was always like young, so like I never like people like, I don't know, I didn't really go on dates.
Sometimes like I think when you go on a date with a friend of benefits is when they are kind of over the friends of benefits. Be like, "You just come over here and."
So you just do it.
That's like, when I took her out.
So you do it.
You just come over when
you're like, I hooked up with him enough times. Like I have to do one.
Yeah. So then you'd be like, "Oh, tomorrow we'll go to Chili's," you know. And then you do. That's typically when that date.
You push it as long as you can, and
then what'll usually happen with that type of situation. Then that night, then it'll go good. You have a fun date, and then she'll sleep over.
Mm-hmm.
And then like a couple sleepovers, then you're accidentally dating a girl who you didn't really like.
Want to date? Yeah.
Too many sleepovers happens.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and she gave me the ultimatum. She was like,
I had
hey-
that happen to me in college.
Yeah, she was like, hey, it's me or this other guy. I was like, go pick him, please. Like,
Yeah.
I'm kind of tired of you.
Well, that's good that she had another option. If she
Yeah.
did, she might not have and just lied and
But
said that.
Yeah.
that's usually when you would go on a date with friends with benefits. Because if you go early in the relationship, then it's like just dating.
You're just
right?
dating.
Yeah.
Even if it's you're both seeing other people, you're still dating.
Yeah.
That's one thing I think now is like more acceptable. People like when they're young people when they're dating, they're open to being like, oh, I'm dating like I'm talking to other people. Whereas I felt like when I was younger, no one would tell people they're talking to other people. Like if you start,
Well, I think you'd say something maybe along the lines of like, I'm not ready to be in a serious relationship.
well, you would say
or-
that, but then I don't know. I feel like guys would say that, but you're like, oh, but you're talking to me all day, every day, and you're not talking to other girls, which you think. Because the guys would say, I'm not ready for a relationship, but they wouldn't say I'm talking to other girls. They would kind of make you believe they're not talking. They're like, well, I'm not really talking to anyone else, but I'm not ready to settle down. So they kind of make you think that they're not talking to other girls, but at the same time say you're not really like in a relationship. Where I feel like now people are just upfront. They're like, hey, I'm talking to other people. Like guys and girls both, I think, are upfront about that.
Yeah.
I feel like guys less so for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause-
I picked up my boy the other week from a date, and then I drove him immediately to another one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would never like to hear a girl be, well, I'm talking to the other guy. Like, I wouldn't want to hear that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't care necessarily if you are, but at least have enough respect for me to lie to me.
Yes. I
You
agree.
know?
Like early on, yeah.
Like, you know,
Yeah, it's one of those things like you should just be honest, but then it's like, I don't know.
I'd
Especially
rather
early
not
on.
know. Be like, well, you don't have to be devoted to me.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
don't tell me. Because then once you tell me that, then I probably am not going to be super interested.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
It's
right?
hard to develop feelings when that happens.
I think you don't have to show all your cards up front. No one said you have to be monogamous the first fucking week.
Yeah,
You know?
Yeah.
But I think
and then once you think it like gets serious,
like
and
there's
then-
something to be said for like lying about a situation. That means you like the person. Like if
Mhm.
I didn't like the person, I would just be like, yeah, I'm talking to like 5 other girls.
Really?
Like,
yeah, you
I
take it or
mean,
leave it. Like you want to hang out, okay.
Yeah, but if you kind of like the person, I wouldn't tell her, right? You know?
Yeah,
you
that
know
makes
what I'm saying,
sense.
or
I
no?
feel like I would just lie regardless. I don't know.
I think it's always
I
best to
don't
lie.
Yeah.
No, but we're saying like this is so early on.
So
where it's like-
early.
where
there's-
you guys, I think sometimes when it's so early on, you shouldn't be asking each other if it's
100% you shouldn't be.
because it's like it's not really.
I don't think you should ever be asking. It should just naturally evolve into neither of you are.
Mhm.
I don't think you should ever really ask.
Yeah.
And then like you naturally evolves to like
Unless
a
it's like
trust.
Yeah.
it's because especially
agree.
if you're just like kind of dating people, like not serious. But if you're like obviously like kind of serious with someone, then
Right.
you shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think you need to ask that or have to worry about that.
Is this girl talking to other guys?
Not that I know of, and I want to keep it that way.
Yeah.
Not like, even if she is, I just don't
Yeah,
want to know.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah. Because that's just like, I don't know. It's very hard.
Because then it almost gets to like a competitive thing. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like if she would tell me that, like, that would motivate me to go out and talk to other girls. Like,
And then
more.
it just becomes toxic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like to try to stay wholesome.
Wholesome boy. You're a
Wholesome
good boy.
It was very
Yes.
funny when you said yes, like, before. You're like, yeah, you lie a lot to, like, everybody. And I'm just like, it's kind of true.
No, but I mean, like, I don't know. When you're that young and you're like going out talking, people don't need to know everything.
Yeah.
Well, even, like,
Um,
to my parents. Like, my parents don't know what I do all day.
Oh yeah, that part.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yo,
yeah.
were
You do lie
serious?
a
Your
lot.
parents don't know you train
No,
jujitsu.
My parents don't know anything.
No, he lies a lot.
I feel like you're lying.
No,
about
I
that.
swear to God.
He lives like double lives.
My dad, I called my dad today, and I didn't know, because like he's an immigrant, so it's very hard for me to like relate to him or talk to him because
Mhm.
English isn't the best. And at a certain point, after 30 seconds of like awkward silence, I was like, "Oh, Dad, I gotta go to the library. I'm on campus. I gotta go study." And he's like, "Yeah, of course, man. I'm so proud of you for going." And I'm just like, "Thanks,
Oh.
Dad. Like, I'm really trying my best to get these good grades for you." And then,
And then
I
you just-
hung up, and then I just went to jiu-jitsu.
Like you like
What if
lie
he's
about
listening?
Dude, my grandma, I told my grandma, I'm like, every time I go to jiu-jitsu, I'm like, Grandma, I have to go to work. I'm making money right now. And I just see like the 130 leave my bank account from Vanguard every week.
She never knows. She doesn't know you do jujitsu.
No. You know what she thinks I
But,
do
like,
at night?
what
I'm
if-
like,
what
oh,
if-
I'm a TA for a class.
What about like all the laundry?
Oh, I was like, oh, I work out a lot.
Like soaking wet rash guards all day, every day.
she's probably like,
yeah.
what the heck?
Because like the amount of laundry, like if you train,
Ugh.
that's something that people don't understand. Like we just constantly have laundry going.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just between both of us today, I had 3 workout outfits.
Yeah.
2 towels, and then that's just mine.
I think
and
that
then
we
you-
should get like 2 washing machines stacked on top of each other and 2 dryers stacked on top of each
Mhm.
other.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
I think
People
we should
do
have Gordon has that.
Yeah.
It's such a good idea.
Yeah. I mean, we do laundry all the time, but I can't imagine well, I guess maybe it wouldn't be. It's just so much work. I just buy more workout clothes. It's so
But like
insane.
that's what I mean. I would think that would kind of be like,
She's
what
probably
the
like-
fuck is this?
because
man?
even if you do work out, your
Does
clothes.
she do your laundry?
No, I do my laundry.
all right.
Yeah.
Because even when you like work out, your clothes do not get as sweaty as it
No.
does doing jujitsu.
Oh no. But
Like-
I only do laundry like in the middle of the night. Like she's always asleep when I come home.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't sure if you like just,
Just what?
if she did it.
No, I would never make my grandma do that. No.
I feel like if I like lived at home when I was like in college, my mom probably would have done that.
Yeah, mine would have
But-
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she cooks all
100%.
my meals, so I'm just like, that's enough for me.
Yeah.
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 That's nice.
Yeah. She makes me food and I lie to her. Like I'm a great grandkid.
Yeah, like during Ramadan, they didn't know, like they think you weren't eating.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You're like chugging like coffee and cheesecake, and then you go
Yeah.
home and they're like, finally we can eat. You're like, I'm full.
I'm like, oh, I'm okay. I'll just keep my fast going. It's fine.
Keep my fast. That's bad.
It really
That's
is.
bad.
I'm a terrible person sometimes.
It's just crazy that you could like. I would never be able to like when you were that age. Could you like lie about all that stuff to your family?
Well, I mean, I never did anything like that involved like with that stuff. But I mean, I used to lie to my parents periodically.
Well, like about like drinking.
Mm.
I mean, they were like what you were doing, just.
But
in
like I
general.
have certain things, like not your whole life.
No,
like,
not
you
my
would-
whole life. Like
you know
that.
what I'm
Oh,
saying? Like
yeah.
obviously you're not gonna like tell your parents if you're like going to a party
Right,
or you're
right.
like doing stupid young kid stuff
Right,
like
right.
that.
Not like
you know what I
my
mean?
whole
But I
life.
wouldn't like imagine like not telling your mom you were wrestling.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like they would probably know.
I can't even tell. Like I haven't told my like parents I've had a girlfriend like ever. Well, actually,
Yeah.
one time I did, and then my like stepmom was like, "So when are you guys getting married?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it's just
And
such a
she was
different
completely
culture
serious.
experience.
Yeah.
Like and like it's crazy.
Is your
to-
age like a normal age to get married?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Imagine you getting married.
Right now,
Like-
I want to go to like one of those weddings though.
I would do it. I would do it for you guys if you guys want to go. I'll do it for like at least like a day.
No, don't do that.
Yeah.
But if you do like even okay, if you find a girlfriend, like just hypothetically, girl you're talking to now, you guys end up dating for years, like whatever, you get married, would your wedding be like one of those crazy weddings? Or would you like
I kind of just want to do like a beach wedding, like you guys.
you
Well,
just
yeah,
would
but-
you would talk to the girl and you're not like, "Oh, I would do that for my."
I mean, if my family wants it and they're willing to pay for it,
Yeah,
go
yeah.
ahead. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Like at that point, I'm doing it for you guys.
I've
Like
never been to like one of those weddings.
I really want to do it because I want to like ride like an elephant at my wedding.
I just want to get like loaded
been
with
elephant
henna
there?
tattoos.
You've never seen that?
Oh, they're like insane.
In this country, though,
Yeah.
where do they get the elephant?
I used to valet cars for weddings.
Where do they get the elephant?
I don't know. I can't tell you. I don't know.
They do like they're like 3 days, right?
Yeah.
I want to just go and I
Like
just want a
where?
reason
Like
to get
in
henna
New Jersey,
tattoos.
there's just like an elephant.
So and there
walking
in New
around?
Jersey, there's a place called it's named after a president. Not Edwardson, not Eisenhower, Edison, and
Oh.
that's where like it's like another province of India.
Oh,
as
yeah,
far as
yeah.
I'm concerned. Yeah, there's just so many brown people. And then I would
Edison, New Jersey.
yeah, I would valet cars there, and like that was my job for a little bit. And I
Uh,
remember this one time, like I went to like a place. It was like a small venue. Like I didn't think much of it, and I see like people like gather around in a circle, and the bride and groom are coming out on an elephant,
That's crazy.
and all of their family members behind them are on camels, and it's just like I don't know how to explain it. It was just super surreal.
It's
wow.
crazy to me
Yeah.
how like Indians, they have like those big weddings, but like everyone does. And I'm
Mhm.
like, how does everyone afford that? Because like 3 days of anything of partying is so much money.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. Like you think about
That's
like how
wild.
expensive weddings are in general, and that's one day, but those are like celebrations for like days. That's
Well, I think like only like people from like a higher caste do that. You know what
okay.
I
So
mean?
not everyone does that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because then it
Right.
just wouldn't be practical.
Yeah.
That
makes sense.
Yeah.
Well,
That's good.
hopefully, I don't want you to have an arranged marriage, but when you do get married, I wouldn't mind if there was elephants there.
Yeah, I would like elephants.
I mean, you guys are already invited. I don't even know.
Well, duh, of
Like
course.
I'll go get married tomorrow if that's like
No, you don't have
No,
to do
don't get
that.
married
Just
tomorrow.
keep going on dates and throwing up, and
Okay, that's
that'll be
fine.
good.
So that's kind of a hodgepodge episode.
we haven't caught up with Zain in a while, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll have a big guest on next week. Big
Uh-oh.
news coming. No, big guest next week.
yeah. All right, thank you guys. We'll talk to you next week. Bye.